people of the internet. Today I would love to talk with you about 10 things that have brought me peace on my fitness journey. I am going to be showing more than just my workouts because I find that to be super boring now to just show my workouts, and I feel like there's a lot more stuff that I want to share, so that's what I'm gonna do. And actually was very nervous to start doing this, but you know what? I feel a calling to share these things, and I really am apologizing for Ricky. But I really took time these past few months to figure out what my role online is, because I just want to help people out there and I want to inspire people, and not just through movement. Now, these 10 things have helped me find peace in my fitness journey, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be for you. So this is my personal journey. I just want to share it, and maybe these things will be for you and maybe they won't be. Maybe you're not in that place in your journey, and that's totally cool. The cool thing is we're all individuals. So yeah. Anyway, first thing that helped me was I stopped wearing my fitness watch, and I was wearing it for 5 years straight pretty much, since 2020. I remember going online and buying it because I'm like, I really want to make sure I'm getting my steps in during this crazy time. And it helped, it helped a ton. It really inspired me to get my steps in. And then I just continued on with that. But I still have a small indent, and it's been probably 6 or 7 months now, which is crazy. So it's with me. I will still wear it when I go for a run outside because I do want to track my mileage. I'm still doing the Lord of the Rings Conqueror challenge, so I want to make sure I get all my miles correct. But rather than that, I don't normally on a regular basis anymore. It's been really nice. I had a realization when I was playing around with kettlebells, and I was tired of bumping it on the kettlebell. And then I thought, why am I wearing this anymore? Because I know when I'm active and I know when I'm not. I am not a person who tracks their heart rate and is super focused on those kind of numbers. So why am I doing this? It would get caught in things, and sometimes I'd get a little rashy rash. So yeah, and that really helped me to enjoy things a little bit more, like going for walks, because I was no longer focusing on getting those steps in. I was more focused on just enjoying nature, which I would say is the second thing. So besides not tracking my steps when I go on a walk, I also have been walking slower on walks and not focusing on those steps, not focusing on getting my heart rate up or anything, but instead when I'm in nature, I am in nature and it's very exciting. I will just look around, I'll pause places. I remember there was one time where in college, so this was long time ago, but I went on a long run with my friend, and she would train for marathons and everything, and I wasn't anywhere near that, but we went for a long run, 8 miles, and she stopped midway and she just looked out into the lake, and it was really pretty, and I thought to myself, dang, but that doesn't count then because we stopped. That's not a non-stop run anymore. I was just focused on getting, again, just the mileage and the intensity. But now I get it. And now it's such an inspiration to think about that moment where she paused and she really just observed where she was. So I try to do that every time I go on a walk now. I'll walk a little bit slower. I'll listen to the sounds of my footsteps. If you just hyper focus on one area, it's really cool. It's just a small little world. And most of the time we just step over these things. But this is a whole city for ants. So it really helps me to just stay present and observe and enjoy the world, because there's so much more to the world than just fitness. Number 3, I stopped tracking food again. I know in the past vlog, I was I'm tracking food again, I'm weighing myself, I'm getting this stuff done, I'm taking my fitness seriously to the next level. And it's crazy how things just change. Admittedly, I went through a depression more recently, And I always think of Jim Carrey's quote where he says, you know, depression is a deep rest because you're tired of playing the character that you're playing. And so I really hyper-focus during those times on, okay, what character am I playing that I'm not okay with anymore? Why is my soul feeling the need to rest and to go within? And I think it was because I was trying to be like that intense fitness person, because my numbers on social media, on like my Instagram and stuff, they weren't doing well. And I'm like, maybe I just have to push myself and like get that physique and like all that stuff. And some people would say like, oh, you already had the physique. In my eyes, you know, I didn't. So I really was just focused on pushing myself and getting into like the CrossFit workouts and all that stuff. And I did enjoy it at the time, but I don't think it was what I actually needed. So luckily though, with my eating disorder background, I did not get triggered. So I wasn't triggered in a way that led to like restriction or binging. So like that was super, honestly, I think I needed that time to realize like, you know, we're good now. How very exciting. You're not triggered by that. But yeah, I don't weigh my food anymore. I deleted my MyFitnessPal for like the 15th time on my phone. And now I decided once again to not weigh myself. I actually had to weigh myself recently for a competition a few months back in June. So that's kind of what triggered me to weigh myself again. I was like, oh, let's keep going with this. But now I'm like, why does it matter? Who cares? That's like the least interesting thing about me is like what I weigh. And I know if I'm strong or not. I know if I'm fitting in my clothes really good. I know if I feel good inside, if I have the energy. So why not just base my health on that and not like worry about how much I weigh? Because it does. For some reason, someone made it an important thing and it stayed with me. And now I'm like, nah, I just don't need this. And yeah. So that's really cool. Number 4 is I now take spontaneous rest days. Before it would be like, no, every like Friday I will take a rest day. Now it's like some days I'll wake up and maybe I'll do like some, you know, ground movement and stuff. And I'm like, I'm good. That's good. Now it doesn't mean that I'm a potato all day and I just do no movement at all. Like I might go for a walk or go on an adventure somewhere or just do something different to shake off my routine. But now I don't feel that anxiety that, oh my gosh, I'm not working out every day. Now, actually, since I've taken more spontaneous rest days and not taken things as seriously, I think actually my performance is better, which is really cool. I recently did my cleanest muscle ups. Sorry. I recently did my cleanest muscle ups I've ever done, and it was interesting because I hadn't trained them for like a month, and then I came back and I'm like, where did this come from? So rest is just so important. That's where you recover your muscles. That's where you can get those gains that you've been like trying to get as you work out and stuff. So it's just that reminder that recovery is really good. Recovery is important. Taking that extra rest day is important. And exploring other things in your life is important rather than just fitness. And it makes you enjoy the times that you do work out a little bit more, at least for me. So on a side note of that, number 5, I would say is to have more play days. When I'm at the gym, I will play with my silk fans a lot more. I'll play with my bow staff a lot more, nunchucks, and I'll allow myself to suck at it. It sounds really funny, but actually more recently, one of the best days I had was playing with my flow rope. No expectation at all, no plan, and I just like moved with it. And I did sporadic movements, I did silly movements that didn't quite work. I messed up, I whacked myself in the head. But it was the most fun I've had in a long, long time in my workouts. And I think it was just so cool. And I think we need that. We need that experimentation and spontaneity and just like fun and play in workouts again, or in movement. It's hard to call it even a workout sometimes, because like, yeah, I'll have my intense days, but it's like, I'll also either have a play day or I'll mash the two together, which is probably my favorite. So I'll do like, you know, the weighted pull-ups and the muscle ups. But then I'll include during my rest, I'll do the fun stuff with my silk fans and I'll just dance around and stuff. but we need that play. We've lost it so much. I made a reel about this on Instagram. It was my most recent one. It's doing really good, which makes me so happy because that means the message is being received and it's being spread. And I think it's so important to remember to play again, to be kids, because a lot of people in the comments had stated, play was taken from them during gym class, in especially like high school. And that's such a rough time because we're judged, we're graded for gym class. Hi, sweetie. He agrees. And bullies and everything like that. So and high school alone is already very challenging. So I can't imagine, yeah, there were some awkward times during there. I was lucky and we played with nunchucks in my gym class at one point. We did archery, but there were still awkward times, of course. But yeah, we don't play as much as I think adults need to express themselves without judgment, to work out, not because it's punishment, but it's self-expression instead. It's exciting, it's fun, it's free. And I think we need to do more of that. And I think Ricky agrees. Do you agree? Very good. Number 6, this one's kind of silly, but wear clothes that are comfy. I went through a phase of like scrunch butt and just tighter clothes, and I still wear like my tight clothes. I'll show my tummy and stuff like that. But there are days where I feel like a potato, but I still want to move. So I'm not gonna force myself to wear those clothes. I just wear baggier clothes now. So this might seem like super silly to some people, but honestly for me it was very liberating to realize you don't need to constantly present yourself. And I think I learned that through filming so much of my workouts on YouTube, on Kitty Hug Fitness, on my home workout channel, is I felt like to be successful, I had to show my body more. And that includes with my Instagram too. I felt like I had to show my body more. But now it's well, if you want to, that's fine, that's cool. If you feel good, if that excites you, if that brings you joy, go for it. But there are some days where I just don't feel like it, and that's totally okay. So I'll wear the baggier clothes, and that way I can still get my movement in and just feel good and not judge myself because there's a mirror on every single wall at the gym. It's I don't need that. I just want to focus on moving and appreciate my body for what she does for me. Even though I bet I don't even look bad, it's probably just all up in here. But yeah, I know, again, might be a silly thing for some people, but yeah. Number 7, I stopped worrying about getting as much protein as I was. I will say, when I was tracking, when I was focusing on a ton of protein, I feel like I looked my ultimate best aesthetically. And that could be, open to interpretation kind of thing. It was a very short phase in my fitness career. That was a month that I was tracking and getting that protein in, but I feel like I was more cut than ever. I was really, really strong, and I still am though. So it's just at what point, is it enough? And I had a moment where I was thinking, I'm why am I chasing a 6-pack? And people are gonna look at me and be like, you have abs. And I'm yes. I think I was so hyper-focused on this certain type of physique where I was bam, 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 6-pack all the time, not bloated, all that stuff. And I was putting that pressure on myself. And I'm at what point do I not pressure myself to have this perfect physique all the time? And that was very liberating to be you know what, it doesn't have to be so intense. Your body can do what you want to do, which is a blessing in itself. My husband works with paralyzed veterans, and they can't do some of the things that we can do that are basic, some of them can't walk up the stairs. So it's just okay, but focus on all these blessings that we take for granted. And it's why does it have to be about being that 0.001% of physiques and stuff? So yeah, that's why when I have snacks now, it was I'm gonna have a a chicken thigh and like eggs. And I was like, yeah, if I feel like having it, but sometimes I feel like having a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and that's okay. So I stopped pressuring myself into having as much protein. Obviously, I still try to focus on having protein at every meal because it makes me feel good, it makes me perform good. However, I've taken the pressure of having a ton all the time. So that's really nice. Number 8 is I don't use fitness supplements every day. Like I will use protein powder if I'm craving a meal that has protein powder in it that I thoroughly actually enjoy and want. 2, if it's like super convenient and for some reason I'm in a pinch, which is very rare. Like my schedule is pretty flexible. I'm very lucky. So yeah, I don't do the greens and the reds and the creatine. I tried creatine, my body hated it. I don't do, what is that, collagen, all this stuff. I don't need it. I don't need it. I'm functioning great. It's all good. I personally don't need it. But if it works for you, I think that's wonderful. If you enjoy it, I think that's wonderful. So again, personal. I do take vitamin D3 though. So, but that's been like a constant thing. But winters in Wisconsin are rough. Let's see here. Number 9, I eat fun foods with friends and family now. So like my cousin always brings over crumble cookies during the time that they come and visit us, and before I wouldn't have them, and now I do. And it's really wonderful. And it's fun because like I don't feel restricted then, and I get to enjoy this experience with them. And then, you know, allowing myself, this goes into like my binge eating recovery back in the past, you know, allowing yourself these foods, it's like the pull to have them. Sometimes I have a funny accent. The pull to have them isn't so intense. So that's really, just really nice. And yeah, I don't feel restricted, and you enjoy life, you know, it's not, you don't have to live out of a container all the time. Like I used to do that. I used to be the one to bring my meals to parties and all that stuff and not eat the food that is there. And yeah, you don't need to if that's not for you. So it's not for me anymore. They're really nice. There will be some times if I like find out there's pizza and I'm like, I'm really not like that's where it goes to honoring your body, where it's like, okay, I know there's gonna be pizza at the party. I know I'm gonna feel like garbage the next day if I eat it. Like I'm just gonna bring my own stuff or eat beforehand. Like that's different. But if it's like, hey, I made these cookies and you really want the cookie, it's okay. So yeah. Number 10 is focusing on how my body feels rather than forcing myself to do workouts I'm not feeling up for. So if I normally will be like, okay, well, you know, it's been like 3 days since I've done a calisthenics upper body workout, you know, that's a long time. Should probably do one, but my body's just like, nah, man, no. And needs to have like a playful movement day, or wants to do legs that day, or wants to do a run. Like I'll do that instead. I'm not training for a competition anymore. I'm not right now, at least. I don't know when I'll do another competition. My soul does not want to right now, and that is okay. Doesn't mean I won't ever again. I'm just not feeling it right now. But that leaves so much freedom for me, and this is very interesting because it's been like 2 years since I've been like competition free, or not having to film home workout videos. So technically it's been probably like, probably like 12, 13 years since I've had a schedule where I can do whatever I want every single day as far as like movement goes. Because before I was on that schedule where I would film like 3 YouTube workouts every single week, or I would have to train for the competitions or something. So this freedom is so nice. And I think it's really important to remember, like, you see all these fitness influencers online and they're very inspiring. That's really cool. Just remember that that's their job, and you might not have as much time to work out as them, or you might have a family, you have different circumstances. So as long as you're trying the best with what you can do at the time, I think that's what is most important. And to remember that, to have fun again. And it doesn't have to be so intense for everything. I think that's something about the fitness industry that bothers me the most, is that it's so intense. I don't believe in no rest days. I don't believe in it's only about putting your head down and grinding. I was in that culture so long, and it's I don't believe in that anymore. And it's yeah. So does that make me the best athlete ever? No. Does that make me the best fitness influencer ever? No. But I'm okay with that. That's not what I'm striving to be. I just want to kind of almost take myself off a pedestal. If someone has me on a pedestal, take me off of it. I'm not really the best fitness influencer. I just do fun movements, and I do intense movements. I do calisthenics because it brings me joy. I do bow staff because it brings me joy, I compete because it brings me joy sometimes, and it just depends on the season. Seasons change. Some things that work for you before might not work for you now, and that's not a bad thing. They might work for you again in the future. But it's kind of learning you and what works for you during this particular time. And to really figure that out, I just recommend to take some time away from social media. And this is what I needed to do. So I bricked my phone. This is not an advertisement. They don't know who I am or anything like that. So, but it's a device that literally will block your socials or whatever apps that you want to. And I would still access Instagram on my computer a little bit just to check my messages because there's something coming up. And then, or if I wanted to make a post, I would unbrick my phone, all that jazz. But to have that time away really made me reflect on how do I want to share with the world? What do I want to give to the world before I'm gone? I think that's really important. And how do I want to treat my body? Because I was influenced without really knowing it by all these different creators thinking I needed to be intense. I needed to be on the grind. I needed to post every single day. I needed to do this, this, and this. And taking that break made me realize oh my gosh, I have been exhausted without even realizing it for so long, mentally. And I really needed a break. So I just recommend to take maybe a little break from being influenced by other people and just going within. And it's scary and it can be really scary to be with your own thoughts, but something that helps me is I'll put on piano music so it's not complete silence, but I'm still alone with my thoughts, and I'll just sit with my journal and be what do I want to do? What do I want to share with the world? What do I want to give? What do I want to create rather than consume? So having those hard but very vulnerable conversations with yourself, I think, is so important. And we're constantly evolving. We're constantly needing different things depending on the seasons in our life and the world. During this season in winter, I have gone through the lowest of lows, but it has brought me to so many insights that I would not have otherwise had if I hadn't slowed down. So every season has its benefits. And this was a tangent that didn't really, was more than just the 10. This is Ruby, by the way. So anyway, let me know if you liked this format. If you didn't, I guess I just don't really care because I want to share it with the world. I think it's an important message, and hopefully it'll help you on your journey. If it doesn't, that's okay too. If you don't vibe with me, that's okay too. You know what? Find the people you vibe with. We're not gonna vibe together. Just be you. Be authentically you. Do what makes you happy. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope you take some time away from social media, and I hope you listen to your own intuition and voices, because all the answers that you need are there with you. You know them, but sometimes we bog them down with other people's opinions, voices, the socials, the Netflix, etc. So yeah. All right, guys. Let me know what kind of content you want to see, but most likely I'll just keep rolling with what I want to create because that's what I'm feeling. All right. See you soon.